Siblings. What's the worst betrayal you've faced? My brother sold our childhood home behind my back to fund his new life. Growing up, it was just me, Ethan, and Mom in that creaky old house on Maple Street. Dad left when we were kids, so Mom worked double shifts to keep the lights on. The house wasn't much, peeling paint, a leaky roof, but it was ours. Ethan and I shared a room until I was 15, staying up late whispering about our plans to fix it up one day. We'd repaint the walls, plant a garden, make it a place Mom could finally rest. She died 3 years ago, a heart attack out of nowhere, and left the house to both of us. It was all we had left of her. Ethan moved out west after the funeral, chasing some vague dream of starting over. I stayed, working as a cashier and taking community college classes at night. The house felt empty without Mom's humming in the kitchen, but I kept it going. Mowed the lawn, paid the taxes, even started saving for those repairs we'd dreamed about. Ethan called maybe twice a year, always promising to visit but never showing. I figured he was busy, building whatever life he was after. I didn't push. Last month I came home to a for sale sign stabbed into the front yard. My stomach twisted before I even processed it. I called the realtor's number, hands shaking, and she casually said the owner had sold it to a developer. The owner, my brother. I stood there, staring at Mom's rosebush by the porch, feeling like the ground was caving in. Ethan hadn't said a word. I tried calling him, straight to voicemail. I texted, emailed, nothing. Finally, I found his new address online, some fancy condo in Seattle, and drove 14 hours overnight running on coffee and rage. When I knocked, a woman answered, all smiles until she saw my face. Ethan appeared behind her, looking like he'd seen a ghost. Lila, what are you? I didn't let him finish. I asked why he sold our house, Mom's house, without telling me. He mumbled about needing the money, about a business opportunity that was going to change everything. I saw the leather couch, the view of the city skyline, and it hit me. He'd cashed out our past for this. I asked about the deed, the one with both our names. He looked away, said he'd handled it. I felt sick. He'd forged my signature. I didn't yell. I just left, drove to a motel, and sat on the bed staring at the wall. My phone buzzed. Ethan, texting apologies, saying he'd cut me in on the profits when things took off. I didn't reply. Back home, the house was already being gutted. I walked through one last time, the developer's crew tearing out the cabinets Mom had painted blue. I found a photo wedged behind the fireplace. Me and Ethan, 10 and 12, grinning in the backyard. I kept it, but it felt heavy, like it belonged to someone else. I wasn't done, though. I went to the county clerk's office, pulled the sale records. The forgery was sloppy. My name scrawled in a way I'd never sign. I could have sued, dragged Ethan through court, but that felt too clean. Instead, I tracked down his business partner through a post he'd tagged Ethan in online. The guy ran a sketchy investment group, promising big returns on eco startups. I met him at a coffee shop, pretending to be curious about investing. Over lattes, he bragged about Ethan sinking everything into their latest project. I nodded, smiled, then tipped off a local reporter who'd been sniffing around their deals. She dug in, found the group was a house of cards, overpromised funds, fake contracts. The story hit the news 2 weeks later, and Ethan's new life started crumbling. I didn't stop there. The developer had started building condos, but I remembered Mom's old neighborhood watch group. I rallied them, got them to petition the city about zoning violations. Turns out, the developer had cut corners on permits. Construction stalled, and last I heard, they were hemorrhaging money. It wasn't about the house anymore. It was about making sure Ethan's betrayal cost him. I moved into a tiny apartment, just me and that photo. Sometimes I'd catch myself staring at it, wondering where that kid with the goofy grin went. Ethan called once, voice shaking, saying he'd lost everything, asking if we could talk. I listened, then hung up. The house was gone, Mom was gone, and whatever we'd had as siblings was buried under that for sale sign. I started a garden on my balcony, small pots of rosemary and daisies like Mom used to grow. It's not much, but it's mine, and no one's taking it away.